Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Oh, great. I forgot to check the camera, so I'm so glad it's working. Again, it's been a while. I've been so busy. I've been so busy that my hair has grown more since the last time that I streamed. It seems to be getting crazy. Most of you are used to me having the bob, which I'd like again, but I can't find someone to cut a cute bob. But you might not know, when I was growing up, nearly my whole life, my hair was down to here. Like, I'm usually a very long hair girl. I went from here to here in one fell swoop because I was tired of long hair. I prefer short hair, but I just can't find someone to cut it right. But welcome, everyone. Let's do the YouTube stuff, and then we'll get into the show, which should be a short show. But I would like you all also to tune in tomorrow. I'll be scheduling that immediately after the show, and Ola, Ruben, Benjamin, JJ, Mike. I'll be scheduling it tomorrow. It will be 6 p.m. Mountain. I know there's a big upset, let's just call it, of the fact that Trump has accepted Chair McCardle's invitation to speak at the 2024 Libertarian National Convention. And in this kerfuffle, there are people who are all for it, and then there are people who are really against it. And out of those people that are really against it, there are some good faith reasons. There's also, I think, some very bad faith reasons. What this show would like to talk about tomorrow is why she and I both think this is a huge win for the Libertarian Party. And we would like to interact with people who are also feel the same way, but also people who have good faith objections, and we would like to address them. That doesn't mean that we'll agree with each other, but it does mean that we can disagree agreeably and answer questions, and perhaps change some minds. I can tell you, I took a phone call the other day, my phone number is very public, of someone who was not too pleased with it. And at the end of the discussion, he was like, oh my goodness, now I get it. Now I get it, and was no longer upset. And I'm not saying that's what will happen with everyone tomorrow, but it might with some. So we would like to have that opportunity. But if you're one of the bad faith objectors or the abusive people, don't bother to come. Mike, I hope you can be here with your little wrench, meaning you're a moderator, because people who do things like that, I have no compunction with showing them the door. This is my channel. But good faith objections, yes, fine. All are welcome for, as long as you're coming in good faith. But let me do the YouTuber stuff. Oh my God. Anyone who uses Ecamm knows there's like this scenes list. Mike knows what my program looks like because he does Cult of R.O.N.R. with me, or used to. When are we going to do that? Well, I have all of these images and things all cluttering up here because I never deleted them from other shows. So let me try to scroll down and find the scenes for this show. So first of all, does this work? Yes! Because I haven't been streaming so often, subscriber counts drop. I haven't dropped much, but I've dropped a little. So I know libertarians aren't joiners and they aren't subscribers, but any of you watching this, and if you're watching it on Twitter, because that's where most of my viewers come from, is from Twitter. Like if you look at my YouTube viewing stats, there'll be very few views, but I can see the number of live viewers I have on my screen, and right now I have 93 live viewers. It will not show that in YouTube, which means most of you are watching on Twitter. Please go to youtube.com/Pink Flame of Liberty and just give me a subscribe and then go back to Twitter and watch it. I'd really, really appreciate it. So please, and if you're watching on YouTube, it's really easy. Hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, baby Jesus will cry, and you don't want baby Jesus to cry. Okay, next. I don't know why I find that joke so funny, but I do. I tell jokes to amuse myself. If it amuses other people, like my use of kerfuffle, I'm pleased. But if I amuse myself, that's all I really ask of myself. Certainly almost last, because I forgot the one before it, I would really appreciate your support on Patreon. Hello, Kathy. It's been a while. I mean, it's been a while seeing you on the show. It hasn't been a while talking to you. Oh my goodness, we've talked so much. But please support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Pink Flame of Liberty, or super chats or super thanks. I really, really appreciate it. I do make a part-time living off of this show, and it does take some time to do, and I promise more shows are coming. Convention prep just takes me a long time. See, Andrew has it right. I've got to put this. Don't cry, baby Jesus. And you all can make sure he doesn't by hitting subscribe. No guilt trips here. No, you're going to go to hell if you don't hit subscribe. Oh my God, I'm definitely going to hell for all of this. What's the last thing? Oh, Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. Most of you are watching on Twitter, and if you're watching on Twitter and aren't following me, give me a follow. I'm a follow back girl. I will follow you back. Okay, that's it. Now, if I remember, but I'm such a terrible YouTuber with this stuff, I probably won't remember. What timestamp are we at right now? We are at about 9:06. Telling my note to myself, at about 9:06, put in the upper bar a link to my prior show where I detailed with receipts when the FBI contacted me about the Libertarian Party. And there were all kinds of skepticism that this really happened and all of that. And most of the skeptics, after watching my show with receipts, then we're like, okay, you guys are telling the truth. The FBI is interested in the Libertarian Party. And let me tell you something I know just from, going through historical records and things like that, the beliefs of people. And at some point I read that there was some kind of documents that were eventually released to the public showing that there were actively spooks in a lot of our LP meetings. And I believe Sarwark, not saying that Sarwark's a spook. I'm not saying that, allegedly. I'm not saying that at all. But there are spooks at our meetings. Let's just be real about that. But I have a follow-up to that show. You might remember in that show, I said that our chair, along with multiple other people, submitted Freedom of Information Act requests regarding that incident and a file that the FBI may have. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Mike. I've got to put this up here because he also made a prep. Let's start doing that. Mike says, we'll try to do a cult of R&R post-convention for my RP exam prep. Instead of the calendar, because we can always go back to that, why don't we use that sample exam? Remember, we were both just kind of taking that before. What's the big difference between a spook and a Fed? I might not know the difference. Adam, please put the difference in chat because I love to get educated. I kind of thought they were the same thing. I'm not up on my Fed terminology. That's what a Fed would say probably. But Mike, let's do that exam. I'll send you the PDF. Oh no, it has the answers on it. I don't think you'll cheat. I don't know how to do this. We'll figure out a way to do it where I'll send you a copy with answers redacted. I'm not sure how we'll do this. We'll probably do it where you're mostly answering the questions rather than us going back and forth and keeping score to prep you for the exam. How does that sound? So anyway, oh, the answers aren't right there. Perfect. That's what we'll do, Mike, because that will help refresh me and it will prep. It really prepped me for the exam. I'll tell you that it really, really helped me. Okay. Forgetting about the cult of R&R thing. By the way, separate from cult of R&R, anyone interested in parliamentary stuff, I'm going to be starting a TikTok that's just tiny parliamentary tips, and I'm actually using it to try to jumpstart my side gig of doing parliamentary work. So it's kind of going to be like a business TikTok for parliamentary work that I do. I do have like my own, it's not like set up yet officially as a business, but I've already got the domain and websites going up soon and stuff like that. You want to know what it's called? I'll tell you what it's called. You will not be surprised. The Pink Parliamentarian. So anyway, that's going to be a TikTok thing, very short things that I'm going to be doing soon. Back to the update. So we got our Freedom of Information request answer. Freedom of Information Act request answer. One of the lights just dimmed for a second. Hello, TSA. You don't need to turn or whatever to TSA. That's for flying. What am I talking about? Department of Homeland Security. Whatever. Whatever you are, government, NSA. Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know what I'm thinking of. I would be a terrible Fed. I can't even remember the alphabet names. You don't need to dim. Did you see it? It just did it again. This is crazy. Well, it will not stop me. I am more determined than your postman. Rain, snow, ice, dimming of lights. So we got back our request. And the reason why this is going to be a short show, because you can see, I'm only holding 3 pages in my hand. No, 4 pages. Excuse me. I'm only holding 4 pages in my hand. And 2 of these pages are just citing statutes. So they're meaningless. So the request is 2 pages long. And as you can tell, it's just a letter. And most of the letter is fluff. It really just comes down to one sentence. I lose my glasses constantly, by the way, so you're going to see a pair you've never seen before. Whenever you see me with these yellow glasses, these are the desperation glasses, meaning I can't find any of my other pink glasses. And these are the ones they're all scratched up to dig out. And yes, they are 2 different shapes. One side's round and one side's square. I do think they're super cute, but I never wear them. These are my desperation glasses, don't laugh. But you gotta admit, that's super cute. And it matches my shirt. So, this is the response that was sent to Angela. But again, responses, a lot of people sent out requests. So I'm sure they all got the same response. If you sent out a request and got a different response, let me know. We'll come on the show and talk about it. So, dear Ms. McCardle, actually, let's do the request number 1627011-000, subject, Libertarian National Committee. Dear Ms. McCardle, this responds to your Freedom of Information /Privacy Act, FOIPA request. We're not doing that whole acronym. We're just going to call it a request from this point on. Please see the paragraphs below for relevant information specific to your request, as well as the enclosed FBI addendum for standard responses to all requests. That was this thing I threw down, which is just talks about FBI policy. If y'all want to see it, I can scan it in and send it to you. It's all statutory stuff from United States Code 552. This looks like where it's all coming from. So that's not relevant. And it continues. The FBI has completed its search for records subject to the request that are responsive to your request. The material you requested, now here's where it gets interesting. The material you requested is located in an investigative file, which is exempt from disclosure pursuant to 5 U.S.C. Section 552, subsection B, subsection 7, subsection A, and then it goes and quotes that section. So we don't need to look it up. It quotes, records or information compiled for law enforcement purposes, but only to the extent that the production of such law enforcement records or information could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. So all of you who not lied, that's the wrong word. All of you who doubted, sorry, lied was really the wrong word. I was thinking of 10 things at once. I was thinking of something that was actually a lie that had nothing to do with this. For all of you who doubted that what happened, was it about a month ago, there was something there. Because there were so many people who were just going, that was just a friendly reminder to change your Facebook passwords, and you guys are freaking out all about it. What drama queens? Oh my word, clutch your pearls. No, it wasn't a mere request or advice that we should change our Facebook passwords. There's obviously something more there. Now remember, in the letter that they wrote us through our attorney, said they considered us a victim of interference by some foreign entity and wouldn't tell us what that foreign entity was. Well, if we're the victim, why won't you tell us anything? I mean, I could see not saying everything, but don't victims have rights? How can we respond to this alleged victimization if we don't even know what foreign entity you're talking about? Is it Dalmatia? It's Dalmatia, isn't it? Those damn Dalmatians. How can we protect ourselves as victims? Can you imagine if the cops thought someone had a hit out on you, but then would give you no information about how you could protect yourself other than change the locks on your front door? I smell a rat. Not a rat fuck, but I smell a rat. I always smell a rat fuck, but I smell a rat. So let's continue. The records responsive to your request are law enforcement records. There is a pending or prospective law enforcement proceeding relevant to these responsive records, and release of the information could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. Therefore, your request is being administratively closed. And all the rest just gives links on where to find more about the Freedom of Information Act and so on and so forth. But it ends with, and I would recommend that Angela does this, you may seek dispute resolution services by emailing blah, blah, blah. I think we should dispute that we're not being given information as an alleged victim. I think we should dispute this. And also, I have to look at the original FOIA request. I think it was limited just to that inquiry of about a month ago. I think we need to do a FOIA request for everything they have on the Libertarian Party. What do you think? I think that could be fun. So that is the update. When I know more, I'll let you know more. I'm going to go look at comments. I'm pointing over here. See, the only person who really understands like why I look here and there is Mike, because he's been sitting right here. He understands my setup. So I'm looking over here at comments to see if there's anything I need to address. They probably want to blame it on the Russians. Probably. You know what kind of games. And at the time, this was a month ago when RFK Jr. was still seriously seeking, well, I don't want to say he was seriously seeking. He was seriously in the public toying with the idea. Here's also what's funny. Do you remember all the people on Twitter who kept saying Angela had some secret deal with RFK and all this? Some people have made so many accusations that they were sure about over the past 2 years, and they've all turned out to be false. And they've never been held to account. Where is Angela's secret deal with RFK Jr.? They just pivoted to now say she has a secret deal with Trump. And when after convention, all of their like hysteria is proven to be wrong, that we'll get into that tomorrow, there'll still be no accountability. And you wonder why people fear libertarianism? Because they see we don't even hold our own accountable for just making shit up about people. And not even a, oops, my bad. They just move on and pretend like they never said it. I'm waiting for the public apology for about how we were secretly supporting RFK and we're going to rig the nomination for RFK. I'm waiting for that apology. I wish I had a little skeleton here because that's how long I'll be waiting. I don't know what chums are, Mike. Benjamin said the TSA must have gotten a bigger budget this year. She flies a lot. Let's dim her lights. Oh, you want to know what's so fun? Oh my God. The joke wrote itself and you guys didn't do it. The joke wrote itself. The dimming of the lights thing, that's the classic theme of the movie Gaslighting. You should have just went into chat and said, the lights aren't dimming. Are you crazy? Are you seeing things? If anyone saw the movie Gaslight, that's what it was about. The husband was going and dimming the lights, and when the wife was saying, what's going on with our gas lights? Because it was gaslighting in the house. That's why it's called gaslighting. It's before there wasn't electricity. And it'd be like, dear, I don't know what you're talking about. Our lights haven't been dimming. But anyway, the joke wrote itself, but you all are just probably too young to be even aware of that movie. You might be aware of the term gaslighting, but not know where it came from. But it came from a really old movie. Anyway, that's it. So please tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Mountain, and Angela and I will be pleased as punch, tickled pink, whatever you might say, to speak with you. But it's so good to do a show again, and I will see you tomorrow. Mi guapas de Libertad.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians, or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business, not because they want to